Hello there, John Osteopath here again. I'm here to show you some more exercises today. Obviously, as some of you know, I run a Pilates class at the weekends, and in Pilates, what I tend to see very often from my clients who've been to other teachers is they're doing too much too soon, especially if they've got lower back problems. One obvious area we tend to find is that the lower back gets exacerbated, or the problems get exacerbated because the hip flexors are too tight and the abdominal muscles are too weak. So I always recommend people stretch the hip flexors, and if you've looked in some of my previous videos, you'll see the exercises I've given there to stretch them out. But today we want to talk about progressing slowly and gradually. Don't jump into doing things like leg raises straight away. As one of my clients this week explained, he's been doing leg raises and it's just aggravated his back, or we think that's what's been causing the problem. I can personally testify to that myself, having had lower back problems in the past, which were exacerbated by leg raises in particular. So how can we do leg raises, or how can we build up to them? Well, let's start off, just put yourself on the floor, onto the table like so. Now, as we were saying before, a lot of people, what they do is they start here, they're not even told what they should be doing. They bring their legs up, and they're down, and they're up, and they're down, and already doing that doesn't feel very good. When you're doing that exercise, you have to make sure everything's in the right place, so you need to hold the tummy in tightly. And of course, you then need to get the legs up very slowly, breathing out as you lift, and breathing in as you lower. So breathe out as you lift, breathing in as you lower. And the key to this, I normally recommend for people, especially like myself who's got a big bottom, is to make sure you keep the natural curve of your back. Don't flatten it too much. If you find there is a problem with that, you can put your hands under your back or even under your bottom, and that can help as well. And that provides a degree of support to your lower back. So if you are, again, doing these exercises by holding your tummy in first, you're now able to lift the legs up and down with a degree of protection that helps your back. And the reason is, if you're imprinting your back and you're pushing your back in too much that way, the ligaments in the back here and the discs sometimes can get irritated if you've got a pre-existing problem. So having something in that curve, because as you can see I've got quite a curve here, so having something in there will protect you. The alternative is you can use a towel, get a small towel, place it in your lower back and do it that way. Or, as I said before, just use your hands. Now, I'm showing you obviously the most advanced thing first of all. So let's actually start off at the beginning. How can we modify these techniques? So before you even do leg raises, what you should be doing is looking to make sure that there isn't too much of a roll in your pelvis in the first place. And if you are weak, as I was when I first started, then let's start off with a basic exercise, the leg slides, which I've done in previous videos. But just to explain about that, how do we do it? Again, as before, hold your tummy in. Keep a neutral spine. Do not flatten your spine into the floor. You're not pushing down, okay? You're just maintaining the natural curvature, okay, the neutral position. So hold that tummy in. Now breathe out and slide one leg, just the one leg down, and then breathe in and slide back up again. Maintain contact with the floor at the same time. Now slide the other leg down as you breathe out, and breathe in and bring it back up again. Remember to keep tension in your abs the whole time. If you put your fingers here, just around the side of the hip bones and dig in, you'll find the transversus abdominis muscle. As you breathe in, you'll feel it tensing up under your fingers. And you think, if I'm sucking everything in, surely it should be going in deeper. It actually does the opposite. It actually comes out. It flexes and it lifts ever so slightly. And you'll feel that just the inside of the bones here and here. Okay? So that's your first exercise. Leg slides down and back, and the other one down and back, maintaining a neutral spine and holding in the tummy as you go. Now I'm doing a bit fast. Really, you should be working on 5 seconds out as you breathe out, 5 seconds in as you breathe in, back and forth. So that's the first stage of the exercise before you do leg raises. The next level up is what's called the scissors. So you get your legs to a tabletop position like so, okay? Again, try to maintain a neutral spine if you can. If you can't, put your hand under your back like so, just to protect your back. Otherwise, you should be fine. You can always put a very small towel down there. And there's some hinging at the hip joints only. Let the leg go down to there, keep the knee bent, and come back up again. Same principle as before. Tummy's in, neutral spine. Breathe out, lower the leg. Breathe in and bring it up. Breathe out, lower the leg. Breathe in, bring it up. And we'll try and do this for reps. I think, you need to be doing at least 20 repetitions per leg before you want to start about taking it to the next level. Now, speaking of the next level, what I tend to do after this, if we can do that comfortably, is again, starting with the tabletop position, do single leg jackknives. So bring one leg out, and then back. Other leg out, and then back. And it's the same principle, same breathing technique. Should be about 5 seconds out, about 5 seconds in as you breathe. Tummy is held in the whole time. Neutral spine, and the lower back is not flattened too much into the table at all. Once you comfortably can do single leg jackknives, you want to then be able to see if you can do a full jackknife, but hold it as an isometric contraction. Again, make sure as you do this, really focus on the tummy sucking in tightly. It's really easy to forget to do this as you're holding this position because you're so busy concentrating on the hip flexors, that's the psoas muscle, and of course the top of the quads working. You forget sometimes to actually control the abs, and that's where the problems begin, because you then start to arch your back as you're going up and down, and then you start to think, oh, you get a bit of a pain down there. So that's your next stage. Again, once you can get to that position, then we can start to think about moving into doing proper full leg raises. But what I normally say to my clients next is don't go straight into the full leg raise, try a single leg raises. So if you're doing a dead bug like this, you can start by dropping one arm down and the opposite leg down, and then coming up again, and the other one here, and all the way up. There is a variation of this. If you want to, as you come up, you can reach up and you can grab the toes. And that puts a bit more oblique movement in as well, if you want to. Now with this, it's going to be hard for you not to imprint your lower back because of the position you're in. So don't be upset if you are doing some imprinting. That's absolutely fine. But like I said, I personally don't always believe in imprinting on the other techniques because I feel that can aggravate your back a little bit. But once you're at this point, then you're probably ready to imprint it without any issues. And then finally, once you're able to do that again for repetitions, a good 20 repetitions per leg, so you've got that stamina built in without any pain, you can then think about doing full leg raises. And like I said before, when we started the video, the best way to start is with your hands either in your lower back or your glutes, hold that tummy in. But it's actually good to start off from this position here. So starting from a tabletop position, straighten the legs straight up. You know you can do a jackknife at this position. All you've got to do now is lower it down a little bit more. All the way down, keep the tummy tight, and all the way up. But what I normally say to people is, don't actually touch the floor when you go down. Keep the feet slightly elevated to maintain contraction of your abdominals the whole time. If this is a bit too hard, you can. There's a halfway house where you do both legs out like so, and then bend the knees as you come back up again, making sure the abs are really tight. What I like about doing it this way is you can really feel the abs working a little bit harder because you're using a bit of the rectus to maintain it. That's the rectus abdominis as well as the transversus. And like I said before, if you feel ready, then bring both legs down, hovering off the ground and straight up, and again. Now with this, do not go to failure. If you go to failure, I pretty much guarantee you're going to end up with a lower back problem at some point. But I hope that helps you. There you've got the break. I've broken the exercises down into the more manageable ones you can do. And like I say with anyone doing the really demanding things, what you should probably do is once you've got to a point where you can reach and do those demanding exercises, do it for say 2 or 3 weeks, that's great, and then have a week off and just go back to basics and review everything all over again, because it's really easy sometimes to over concentrate on those tough exercises. Anyway, I really hope you enjoy this video, and I'll probably be updating this at some point. See you in the next one. If I don't see you, have a happy Christmas and a blessed New Year. See you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.